It's John for MTG Nexus coming at you with some more Modern the Tibalting, as a lot of people have started to call this format. I guess Legacy also kind of has the same problem. Tibalt, the Cosmic Imposter, has kind of taken over both formats, and as a result, a lot of people are starting to not play the format. I personally find the format, at least in the current iterations, interesting. You know, there are some decks that are showing counterplay to it. Burn has been one thing that's been a thorn in my side whenever I've played this deck. Also, played against a blue-white opponent that was playing, I don't know if it was main deck, but they were playing Commandeer, which is a brutal card, undoing all your work and taking their Valki for themselves. So, yesterday we played the Jund list for the first time. The list that had won the challenge on Saturday had the sideboard Mind Break traps. I had joked during the deck tech that I would probably run into Burn, and I ran into Burn twice, which were my two losses. Today we're running Leyline of Sanctity, so we'll see how that goes. Of course, I'll probably run into Tibalt's Trickery 2 or 3 times and regret my life choices, so, you know. There's still a little bit of a matchup roulette in modern format, even in this warped format. So what is this deck trying to do outside of casting a turn 2 or turn 3 Tibalt, which you obviously accomplish with Demonic Dread, Violent Outburst, cascading into Valki, God of Lies, and then casting the Tibalt Cosmic Imposter side, because for some reason Wizards has decided that this is okay, and they didn't learn their lesson from Boom Bust or Back Call. So, you know. Beyond that, you are trying to cast a fast Blood Moon, a fast Magus of the Moon. You know, you generally are trying to do unfair things in the first 2 or 3 turns of the game. Otherwise, you're just a bad Jund deck. You're playing Seasoned Pyromancer, Bone Crusher Giant, Bloodbraid Elf, and kind of hoping to get a little bit lucky from there. Beyond that, to facilitate this, you have 4 copies of Simian Spirit Guide and 4 copies of Gemstone Cavern. So especially when you're on the draw, you have the 4 Gemstone Cavern, and then overall you just have the 4 Simian Spirit Guide to power out your nonsense. You know, deck's fairly simplistic in what it's trying to do. A little bit easier than, say, the this version. Maybe this one. Nope, that's Tibalt's Trickery. A little bit simpler than this one, where you have a little bit more decisions to make with, you know, your Force of Negations, your Brazen Borrowers, and all this nonsense. The Valki Jund deck's a little bit more straightforward. You're just trying to play a Broken Bomb on turn 2. Whether it be Blood Moon, whether it be Magus of the Moon, whether it be Valki. You're just trying to do something stupid on turn 2 and then following up and win the game before your opponent can recover. Sideboard cards, as I mentioned before, Leyline of Sanctity, because we lost to Burn twice yesterday. And it's a deck that's picking up because it does have a decent Valki matchup, or Tibalt matchup in theory, because it doesn't really care about what Tibalt's doing, at least for the first couple of turns. Leyline the Void for graveyard shenanigans, whether it be Dredge, whether it be all spells, pretty much. Damnation and Anger of the Gods for creature-based decks. Kulagon's Command's an interesting one. This is the one that we're going to be taking a look at today, seeing how often we bring it in. Obviously, it is more interaction against creature decks, but also helps to deal with Pithing Needle, which can be a problem. One of the few colorless answers to Tibalt. And then, obviously, another copy of Blast Zone to help deal with things like Deafening Silence, pretty much, as well as any type of permanent-based hate, although, you know, your Maelstrom Pulses, your Bone Crusher Giants go a long way toward answering things like Thalia or Meddling Mage. So, we'll see how that goes. We did play against an opponent yesterday that had Meddling Mage in their Bring to Light Titan deck, I think it was. So that's quite interesting. So, see how that goes. play. I'm sure opponent good luck. I don't think we can keep this hand. Yes, we have Demonic Dread and Blood Moon, but Gemstone Cavern in this hand is just a colorless land. I guess we have 2 draw steps to hit a land. I still think on the play, on the blind, we need to do better than this. This hand's a little bit better-ish. Still not great, but you know, it's still a potentially turn 3 Valki or turn 3 Blood Moon, which could be relevant. Still probably not the best keep, but you know, going to 5, you're not going to get a whole lot better. Looks like Blood Moon's not going to do a whole lot in this matchup. Going to play that out in case we're up against a whatchamacallit deck, Lean and Arbiter deck. I'm able to fetch one of our basic forests, which it looks like we are against a Lean and Arbiter deck. Our opponent insists on playing nothing here. Okay. So the problem with Blood Moon, right, is just the fact that like we actively want our opponent to path this, which is kind of dumb. And I'm probably going to get Arbiter did here. No, actually, I think if they would have had Arbiter, they would have played it last turn. I think they're really worried about us being the Tibalt deck, which, to be fair, we are. So, you know. Yep, Dahlia, sure. It's like, do I kill Thalia or do I just, like, Seasoned Pyromancer and pitch these two? Feels like I'm supposed to kill Thalia here. Attack with Bone Crusher Giant first. I feel like it seems a little counterintuitive here, but I'm actually going to kill the Bile first. Because the Vial's the scary thing, right? You know? Either got to go to your main phase or activate your Field of Ruin. Valki, God of Lies. Okay, that's mildly annoying. Let's get a basic swamp here. Yoink. I think the game might be over, friend. I think the game might be over. Alright, I mean, Dire Skull's potentially annoying, but it's also kind of whatever. Okay. I think you're in some trouble, friendo. Opponent clearly doesn't have a Flicker Whisper, they just flicker this, so I think stealing their Batter Skull might be just fine. Now their Thalia can't get through, or now their whatever creature can't get through because of Giver of Runes, because we have 2 different color creatures. Flicker Wisp would be annoying. Looks like it might be a Flicker Wisp. Okay, question is, what are you flickering here? Okay. Blood Moon's actually an interesting one here, huh? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Okay. Attack with the 3/3. See if they block here. So obviously they get to kill the Valki here, which is kind of annoying. They have multiple Batter Skulls? Yeah, apparently they can't return Batter Skull to their hand like they thought they could. Alright. Sure. Not really sure what a 5/3 first striker would net you, but sure. Guess it means I can't kill your Flicker Wisp, but I'm not sure that particularly matters when you're just dead next turn. Alright, there we go. So we probably want all these. Might want a Damnation. Probably want a Blast Zone. Because we're probably going to be staring down the barrel of a some Purges and some Deafening Silences. The question is, like, do I want Magus or that kind of stuff? I feel like the Blood Moon plan, like, it's okay when we can get rid of Vile, but other than that, it's kind of suspect against them. Like, yeah, they have a lot of colorless lands, but they also have a lot of basic planes in their deck. So I think we just board out most of the moon effects. Maybe bring back in like one Blood Moon. Because I'd just become a bad Jund deck. I think against them, as long as we can maintain our mana, being a bad Jund deck's fine. Yep, Ether Vials, like I said, kind of annoying, but it's also whatever. Probably get a red source here, since we don't have that many Blood Moons in our deck. Opponent kept a one-lander, huh? That's a little risky. I think in response to that, we have to fetch here. So in case they have an Arbiter or something. I am perfectly happy with this exchange. Maybe we'll get lucky and hit a Valki here. Opponent's going to get to gain some life. Fortunately, we have the Blessings to answer the Auriok champion eventually. Did our opponent finally draw another land? Apparently that answer is no. Can't trade with any of our creatures, so I'm fine just sending in, let them block this, take 3. Oh snap, they got a path. How unfortunate. Let's see what else is in their hand, shall we? Stoneforge Mystic, Skyclave Apparition, Leonin Arbiter, Auriok Champion. Sketchy keep, my friend. Sketchy keep. Especially when we showed the Maelstrom Pulse in game 1, and they can suspect that some type of shatter effect's coming in. I don't know. Like, yeah, Auriok Champion's good against our deck. I mean, I'm not like denying that fact, but it just feels Opponent's a Luris deck, so this hand seems fine. Probably Hammertime if I had to wager. Yep, looking like Hammertime. Stop. Hammertime. Opponent's got some Ornery Thopters. Is our opponent going to be smart and path their own thing? Oop. Demonic Dread. Cast a Valki. Exile your Ornithopter. Cast your Ornithopter. Pass turn. So the reason I exile the Ornithopter is that gives them no window to equip and attack with a hammered up dude. Now they could like play a creature and equip it with a hammer potentially. That's certainly a consideration. I think we can safely take most of our Blood Moon effects out again. Once again, that does shut down some portion of their deck in the form of Inkmoth Nexus, but I do think we keep this hand. It is a little slow on the draw, but have a Kolaghan's Command, we have an Anger of the Gods, we have a turn 2 Valki to play. Opponent's probably on a Thoughtseize us on one. Yep. Gotta take the Demonic Dread, probably. And then leaves us with a Kolaghan's Command and an Anger of the Gods to fight through. Nope, but take the Kolaghan's Command. Okay. Guess they can feel they can better fight through Tibalt than they can through Kolaghan's Command. Or they have another Thoughtseize next turn. Either way. I guess draw some cards, which is mildly annoying. Guess we get a Blood Crypt here, so I could potentially play Valki without taking too much damage. Pulse is a nice one for next turn, potentially. Cast Valki, God of Lies. Opponent's hand is Swift Boots and Colossal Hammer. That's unfortunate. Yep. really hope they didn't draw another one. Go. If they did, we're basically dead. Okay, one other thing was land. Stoneforge Mystic. Yep. I think our only out's top decking Cool Guns command here. I guess Spyro buys us a turn. Yeah, because that gives it trample. Okie dokie. Still think we run it back here. It's a little risky, but I do think we keep it. It's risky in the sense that, you know, it is a bit vulnerable to discard spells. It is a bit vulnerable to a really fast hammer. Valki allows us to answer a Pure Steel, which is one of their bigger threats. Demonic Dread means any creature they play turns into a Valki. Or to a Tibalt. So it's kind of scary. Sigarda's Aid would really suck. Steel Shaper's Gift, kind of annoying. Paradise Mantle, interesting. Still think we play Valki here. Yep. Their hand is Paradise Mantle and land. Get to poke for one here. Exile the flyer. Sure. Sure. Fine making this trade, because then we can re-steal Pure Steel Paladin anyway. I should have played Ornithopter too, which kind of sucks. That would have allowed us to chump block last turn without having to give up the Pure Steel Paladin. Alright, off to the 2-1 start so far. I'm gonna stretch for a sec. Oof. Oh, ouch. Sure, opponent, good luck. Okay, so we are on the draw. Oh, well. Opponent. Ura or field or Valki or trickery. So you're covering about a third of the field. Gotcha. Leaves us in an interesting spot. Now nobody plays Magic. So we have to draw a basic. They have to draw a basic. Oh boy. Oh, Lord. Whoever draws a basic first wins? This is so dumb. That was fun. Oh, Lord. That was so dumb. That was so dumb, it was funny. Curious, though, what am I supposed to board out here? It'd be really embarrassing if our Boggles player lost to this deck while they're What does this hand do? I guess not much, but it does interact with them, so I guess we keep. Oh, this is too fun. I can't help it. It's freaking hilarious. That was actually dumb on my part, by the way. I shouldn't have played the Blood Moon. Now we need to draw the black source. Opponent with all loot. Wow. Okay, so we're dead, basically. I punted, so I deserve to lose this game. Doo-da, doo-da. I punted, so I deserve to lose that game. That's what happens when you get too cocky and don't think. Yeah, I still think we keep this in. Mainly because it's got a blast zone. Can't Val an outburst, but, you know. Well, it's got a slippery little Bogle. These two. This is either point where either the salting is about to commence or we're gonna get the grief timeout. I'm not sure which. It's really funny that our opponent's crying about Tibalt and they didn't even get Tibalted. It's almost like Tibalt isn't the only problem with this format and the only problem with this deck. You know. I'm playing Boggles because you can't interact with me. And then I die to Blast Zones. I guess I interacted with them. Oops. Sure, opponent, good luck. Alright, they choose to play first. Their Luris deck, put that into play. Are we about to get Thoughtseize? Nope, we're about to get Hammertimed. Stop. Hammertime. Seems like a fair and balanced Magic card. Opponent's drawing an Ornithopter. Alright, so Blood Moon's not the greatest in this matchup. Let's bring in the interaction, call it a day. Funny part is, what are we actually pitching here? Because Valki actually has some uses, but, you know. Sure. think we just take our good, clean 2-for-1 and like it. Sure. Forgot to play my land. Okay. I would say good times were had by all, but I don't like to lie. It's pretty clear our Boggles opponent was pretty salty about that whole experience. Like, the first time I played against Hammertime, I thought the deck had a chance against this meta, but the more I play with these Valki decks, it's just like, yeah, no, they don't have a chance either. This deck is just dumb and needs to go. I'm not like disputing that fact. But it's like, if you want to beat this deck, just play Burn. Seems to be the deck with the best matchup against it so far. Although I did play against a blue-white opponent that also had reasonable tech against at least the blue 5-color pile. Wow. Sand's got a bunch of plays, but like nothing until turn. Well, we have Valki on 2, I guess. I don't know. I guess we keep this hand. Feels slow, though. Feels slow. Playing the Forest because we really don't want to thin out land out of our deck. Mirror Match? Mirror Match would be entertaining. We about to get turn 1 ourselves? Nope. Interesting. So Blood Moons are relatively useless in this matchup. Okay. Sure. So how much of a hit am I willing to take here? Yep, opponent has one big turn here, which is kind of whatever. Opponent has a Wild Nacatl in hand. Beyond that, we're not quite sure what they have. If they're smart, they fetch a forest here. Goblin Guide. Okay. Nacatl, sure. I guess if we have if they have a Tarka's command, we're just dead no matter what, pretty much. So it's kind of whatever. Also dead to Bolt. Just have another Nacatl, sure. Blood Moon and a Tarka's Command. A lot of things kill us here. A lot of things kill us. Is Goblin got one of them? Probably. Yep. Alright. Angers and those and that. Blood Moon's somewhat effective against them, somewhat a little bit slow. Probably can at least board Maguses out. This hand isn't super exciting, but I guess we keep a turn to Tibalt. Question is, what am I supposed to do with this Valki? Like, if I minus it, obviously it's dying. So I guess I'm supposed to plus and hope to get a little lucky. Hope we rip like an Anger or a Kolaghan's Command or something next turn. Or maybe that our opponent kept a one-lander. Well, the only Tibalt we're going to have all game is now currently in play. Because all of our other Valkis have been exiled. Maybe I should have exiled the Valkis to get at least one of the Valkis to get a token here. Because I think blockers are relevant. See if our opponent fetches a forest. Nope. Okay, so opponent will not have great mana after this turn. Sure. Yep. Show me anger of the gods. I will also graciously accept Lightning Bolt. Isn't that ironically the only Blood Moon still in our deck? Blood Moon effect, I should say. They had the basic forest, which is fine. Okay, so you most likely have a Tarkus command here, so I am just going to double block. Good card, but we can't cast it, unfortunately. Let's start by casting Valki, see what they got going on. Thalia, Reckless Bushwhacker, Reckless Bushwhacker. We take one of your Reckless Bushwhackers. Sure. 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 Valki can take a hit. I don't even remotely care. I guess I should have just blocked and used a Tarkus command. What am I smoking? Yeah. Oh dear. Is that lethal? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can just cast Bone Crusher Giant. And start attacking. And then next turn, I'm pretty sure we have lethal 10,000 different ways. Sure. Sure. So everything's going at me. Sure, I don't even remotely care. Yeah, there you go. You figured it out. So I could bring in some number of ley lines, but it only really stops bolt. It doesn't stop a Tarkus command, and most bolts are going to be aimed at creatures or planeswalkers anyway, so that's irrelevant. Could bring in Magus over a Blood Moon, but dies to bolt. Maybe that's fine. I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to have the creature that can block as opposed to the enchantment they can't kill. I don't know. Sand doesn't do anything. I don't think... Is turn 1 Seasoned Pyromancer good enough in this matchup? I think we can do better. The sand would qualify as better. Put back Valki, I guess. Gemstone Cavern, exiling Gemstone Cavern. Green. There's some ways they can kill this, but, you know. Sure. Don't think that's going to quite cut it, though. Keeping the one-lander seems dubious. Okay, they got a second land. Cool. This could get a little scary. Sure. So that means Tibalt's dead regardless, right? Yeah, no matter how I block, Tibalt's dead regardless. We just preserve our life total. Let the Tibalt die. Attack for 2. And then just anger this board away. Okay. So we get all the value this turn. Alright, and unsurprisingly we got the 5-0. Had to sweat it a little bit there, but, you know, this deck's dumb. Buy its stuff. Once again, I still think the flex slot is the ley lines and the mind break traps. You know, do you want to lose to Tibalt's Trickery or do you want to lose to Burn? I guess is the question you kind of have to ask yourself in the meta. You know, can't really... Nothing really to say beyond that. You know, this deck's stupid, shouldn't exist. But as long as it's legal, I'm going to continue playing it because I like to win. And after months of struggling in Modern and the decks that I like generally stinking, I'm unfortunately going to stick with the decks that win. So call me whatever you wish. That's fine. I'm just going to enjoy rolling in the tickets right now. So, anywho. I think I'm going to call it a morning there. Send you guys off to Spike. Thanks everybody for tuning in today. I might be back later at some point. I'm going to be working on Modern stuff later at some point with the whatchamacallit going on. The Mana Traders qualifying going on. But I don't know if I'm going to do that on stream or off stream yet. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And you know, unfortunately, until this crap is sorted out, this format's going to be a little bit busted. But, you know, you can either choose to embrace it and play the decks or, you know, complain about it or just play decks that aren't very good against it. Other than, there's a couple, like Burn has shown some promise against this archetype. And the blue-white control deck that I played against with the 5-color soup version showed some promise against the 5-color soup version. Whether it can beat the Blood Moons or not, in addition to the quick Valkis, I don't know. But thanks everybody for tuning in. and send you guys off to Spike. And hope you all have a great day.